Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming in. My name is Narayan Guerrero, and I will be the first presenter for Catnap. I spent 6 years active duty in the Air Force as an in-flight refueling specialist. Prior to coming to Platoon, I was pursuing a computer science degree at the Southern New Hampshire University, and my application focus was front-end design. Fortunately, one of our team members was not able to make it. His name is Narayan Guerrero. He spent 8 years active duty in the Army and 6 years in the Army Reserves. He is a computer information specialist, and prior to coming to Platoon, he as well was studying computer science at the University of Illinois at Chicago. His application focus was data visualization and geo-navigation. And with that, I'll hand it over to our third team member, Mowbray, for a brief introduction and then an app overview.
Hey, my name is Chad. I was 6 years in the Army, translator, and right now I'm getting a PhD in classical Arabic poetry. My application focus was notifications, SMS, and navigation. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the app, how it works, and why it exists. So if you live in the city, Chicago or really any city, you probably spend a fair amount of time on public transportation. So this time is basically dead, so you got to fill it with something. So you can try to read a book, try to send a few emails, do something productive, but oftentimes the most productive thing you can do is just take a nap. But it's kind of a dangerous game on the train. You oversleep, you miss your stop. If you don't want to actually take a very good nap, you can constantly worry about whether or not you actually arrived yet. You can also try a couple things like setting an alarm. If you have the same commute every single day from A to B, say it takes half an hour, set an alarm for half an hour, but then you're relying on fate basically to make sure. If by some miracle the train's early, then you miss your stop. If it's late, then you're waking up early. So what we did is use users' GPS location to determine when the user is going to wake up. Oh, and by the way, it actually does really work in real life. I tested it several times, and we have video evidence out there. If anyone really doesn't believe me, you can borrow my phone and take a very short trip on the train. So I want to talk about the technologies we use. We use React Native, we use Android, we use the Google Directions API, and we pull station data from Chicago Data Port. I'm going to hand it over to Hank. He's going to, sorry, smooth transition. He's going to walk us through how the app actually works.
All right, so for the application walkthrough, I'm going to paint a little scenario for you. So our user just landed at O'Hare. They were on a very long business trip. They had a terrible flight, and they really just want to get home to their family. But they want to catch a quick nap on the ride home because it will probably be chaos as soon as they get home and they see the kids and wife or husband. So the user decides to use Catnap, and they will open up the application. They will select a line that they wish to travel on. Once they select the line, then they can select a starting station and a destination station on that line. And once they have done that, then they can select alarm stop, which is the stop that they'll be alerted to wake up at. After that, they're given 3 options for alarm sounds based on user preference for waking up. And once all this is selected, this is where all the magic happens and their route is created. So a couple different things going on this screen. As you can see, they now have a beautifully rendered map that shows their train route. Up at the top there, we have an update route button, which is going to navigate back to the previous stage and allow you to make any changes to your route that you wish to do so. And in the top right corner, we have a white SMS button, and that's an optional feature. It will render a template for you so that when you arrive at your alarm stop, you can just simply hit send on the text message. We'll see this in full action once we actually hit the alarm stop. But here you just enter the recipient's number and a short message, and it tells you that it will send once you get your alert stop. So now we'll take a quick train ride here. Currently the camera is positioned at the current stop, above and then facing towards the next stop. As you progress along the line, it will move along with you once you hit the next station. As you can see, CTA is moving rather quickly today. So we're going to be coming up on our last stop here, and we should expect to see a few different things. We're going to get that alert notification that says, hey, it's time to wake up. And then we should also get that text message populated that we had used in the SMS service. So there's our alert notification, and then we have our SMS, and we simply send that off. And that concludes the user's experience with Catnap. So take a look at how all of this is tied together. I'll briefly talk about my portion of it, which again was the front end and design. As far as the design goes, I was really just looking to create a very simple and basic application with the intended user probably being somebody who doesn't want to be fiddling around with a bunch of stuff that they just want to take a nap. For the information, like Chad had mentioned earlier, we had made a call to the Chicago Data Portal and then received all of the train information in a CSV file. We then had to run some Python scripts on it in order to change it into a JSON file, which would be a lot easier to handle for our application purposes. So as we saw, you had to select the line, start, destination, etc. All of those inputs are then run through a number of functions, which then parses through the data to actually create the route that you're going to be on. And once we have that route, all of that information is passed to the map component. So taking a look at the data visualization and geonavigation, which was headed by Narayan Guerrero. Once he has that information from the front end, he makes a Google Directions API call for all of the stops, lat and longs, along the route. And then that is rendered onto a map box with a polyline layer. As you can see, we were on the blue line, so the line was blue, just as the CTA will be. I'm going to pass it back over to Chad, and he's going to talk about how this integrates with his SMS and notification system.
Okay, so as you guys just saw in the demonstration, the view will periodically shift. So every time you reach a new station, the function is triggered, and then a new screen is rendered. But we can use this basic function for more than one thing. So we use it to determine when the user is within range of a given station. And we chose a radius of 300 meters in order to account for things like express trains moving quickly, older phones with less reliable GPS, and stations which are semi or actually underground. So you have plenty of opportunities to get hit if you're going by the station. So this basic function works the same way once you hit your alarm stop. You get in range of the station where you want to receive the alarm, and then that trigger function goes off, and the local notification is triggered. In addition to that, at the same time, that function is also used to trigger the SMS, the optional SMS message. And these local notifications are entirely customized. You actually can't see it here because this is an emulator and not every property program displays properly here. But there's custom image, custom sounds, vibration, and the SMS that you previously sent populates here, and all you have to do is press send at the end. So it's basically one-step process. As soon as you wake up, do one thing, and you're done. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about some of the development issues and challenges we face. We used React Native, which none of us had done before. It was a bit of a risk, but we're all adventurous people, so we went ahead and gave it a try, and it worked out. But as you might expect, we had to redo some work a couple times and try some things that didn't work, and abandon features that we really hoped would work. I'd say the main thing we had to redo several times was the navigation. So it turns out we realized at the end you can't really pass props through the navigation system from screen to screen. So each screen is essentially isolated in terms of its information from the other screens. Ultimately, we solve this problem by having the very, very simple design you see here, which is just one page. So information can pass freely from component to component. But if we were to expand this in the future, we would want to use readouts to manage state, which is why everyone uses readouts. One other issue we had in terms of planning or thinking ahead was the use of iOS. So Apple requires a great deal of permissions and so on in order to get iOS to work. Okay, well, let's talk about future development very briefly here. Some things we'd like to implement an accelerometer for when the GPS goes out from underground, you can accurately determine distance and use that as well as the GPS. You can have logging functionality for users and so on. Okay, so we'd like to wrap this up by thanking Motorola, Platoon, and the Nerdery for hosted. Yeah, thank you very much. And if anyone has any questions, feel free.
What's the most difficult challenge you had working in a team setting?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, so we had a fairly loose organizational structure in terms of, we were all sitting right next to each other. So we had a big initial planning meeting, and then one after that, and occasionally we'd have another meeting. So, I mean, I actually prefer this kind of loose style. It allows things to organically coalesce, but it takes a little longer to get going, and there was some work that was duplicated. You know, someone goes off and starts doing something, they get a bright idea, and someone else also has the same bright idea. You have two people doing the same thing. We have time for one more question. Well, I guess two. Go ahead. What do you mean by
So, I mean, I use a CTA and maybe once in a while this might be, how would I provide the feedback if it didn't work or I constantly missing myself?
It would never not work. No, that's a good question. I actually never thought.
Yeah, so currently right now it's just obviously testing. Like you said, we wanted to add some user functionality to it, so it has a more personalized experience, and then also integrated with that, we would incorporate a system where they could let us know, hey, this did not work, so we can functionality.
I was just gonna say, how can I get it so I can use it? Just for you.
Awesome. All right, well, that's all the time we have. So thank you everybody again for coming out.